Download this code from codegive.com, link in the description below. OK, let's dive deep into the request JSON is not well formed error in Python when dealing with APIs, particularly in the context of Stack Overflow. We'll cover the error, its causes, how to debug it, and provide example code. Understanding the request JSON is not well formed error. This error typically arises when you're making an HTTP request, usually a POST or PUT request, to an API, like Stack Overflow's API, and the data you're sending in the request body as JSON, JavaScript object notation, is invalid or doesn't conform to the expected JSON structure. The server receiving the request is unable to parse the JSON, so it throws back an error indicating that the JSON is not well formed. Why JSON matters for APIs. Standard data format JSON is a widely used standard for data interchange between applications, particularly over the Internet. It's human-readable, relatively easy to parse, and supported by most programming languages. API communication APIs often expect data to be sent and received in JSON format. This allows for structured and organized communication. Data types JSON supports basic data types like strings, numbers, booleans, arrays, lists, and nested objects. It's capable of representing complex data structures. Common causes of request JSON is not well formed. Here's a breakdown of the most frequent reasons you might encounter this error. 1. Syntax errors in JSON missing quotes JSON requires keys and string values to be enclosed in double quotes. A common mistake is forgetting the quotes or using single quotes, which are not valid in JSON. Trailing commas in JSON arrays or objects, you should not have a trailing comma after the last element. For example, incorrect data types ensure that the data types you're using in your JSON match what the API expects. For instance, if an API requires an integer but you're sending a string, it will likely fail. Missing colons or braces JSON uses colons, to separate keys from values and braces, to enclose objects, and square brackets, to enclose arrays. Missing any of these delimiters will break the structure. Escaping issues if your strings contain special characters like double quotes, backslashes, backslash, or control characters, you need to escape them properly using backslashes, example backslash, backslash. 2. Encoding issues incorrect character encoding the default encoding for JSON is typically UTF-8. If your data is encoded differently, example Latin 1, ASCII, and contains characters outside the UTF-8 range, it can lead to parsing errors. Byte order mark, BOM sometimes, a BOM can be added to the beginning of a JSON file, which can confuse the parser. UTF-8 BOM is usually not needed and is often the culprit. 3. Data structure mismatch with API expectations missing required fields the API might require certain fields to be present in the JSON data. If you're missing one or more required fields, it will reject the request. Incorrect field names API documentation will specify the exact field names that are expected. If you use the wrong names, the API won't recognize them. Unexpected fields sometimes, sending extra fields that the API doesn't expect can also cause errors. Some APIs are strict about only accepting the fields they define. Nested structure errors if the API requires a specific nested structure of objects and arrays, you must adhere to that structure precisely. 4 library/tooling issues **** outdated libraries * using outdated JSON parsing or request libraries can sometimes lead to errors due to bugs or lack of support for newer JSON features. * incorrect library usage * using the library incorrectly, like not properly serializing the data to JSON, can cause issues. Middleware issues in web frameworks, like Flask or Django, middleware components that process requests or responses might be modifying the JSON in a way that invalidates it. Debugging request JSON is not well-formed errors. Here's a step-by-step approach to debugging these errors. 1. Examine the error message ***. The error message itself is a critical starting point. Look for specific details. ***, which API endpoint is failing. Knowing the endpoint helps you narrow down the problem to the specific data expected by that endpoint. ***, does the error message give line/column numbers? Some error messages will provide line and column numbers within the JSON data where the parser encountered the error. This is invaluable for locating the syntax issue. ***, is there a specific error code or status code? HTTP status codes like 400, bad request, often accompany these errors. API-specific error codes can provide further details. 2. Print or log your JSON data * before sending the request, print or log the JSON data you're about to send. This allows you to visually inspect it for syntax errors or other issues. 3. Use a JSON validator * copy and paste your JSON data into an online JSON validator. These validators will flag any syntax errors and provide helpful messages. Some popular validators: *JSONlint, jsonlint.com. *JSON formatter and validator, jsonformatter.curiousconcept.com. 4. Compare your data to the API documentation * carefully review the API documentation to understand the required data structure, field names, data types, and any specific formatting requirements. Make sure your JSON data conforms to the API's expectations. 5. Use a network inspector, browser dev tools. If you're making the request from a web browser, use the browser's developer tools network tab to inspect the actual HTTP request that's being sent. You can see the request headers, the request body, JSON data, and the response from the server. This can help you verify that the JSON data is being sent correctly. 6. Experiment with minimal data * try sending a simplified version of your JSON data with only the absolutely required fields. If that works, gradually add more fields until you find the one that's causing the error. This helps isolate the problematic data. 7. Check character encoding * verify that your data is encoded in UTF-8. If you suspect encoding issues, try explicitly encoding your data to UTF-8 before serializing it to JSON. 8. Use try except blocks * wrap your JSON parsing and API request code in try except blocks to catch potential exceptions and provide more informative error messages. Example code: posting a question to the Stack Overflow API. Let's create an example of how to post a question to the Stack Overflow API. Using a simplified example, posting actual questions requires more complex authentication. We'll also include error handling. Important notes and considerations. Authentication the Stack Overflow API, and most APIs, requires authentication for many operations, like posting questions. The above example does not include proper authentication. You'd typically use OAuth 2.0. You'll need to follow the API's authentication procedures, get an access token, and include that token in your request headers. Rate limiting * APIs often have rate limits to prevent abuse. Be mindful of the API's rate limits and implement error handling to deal with rate limiting errors, example HTTP status code 429. API documentation is your friend. Always consult the API documentation for the specific API you're using. The documentation will provide details on the endpoints, required parameters, data formats, authentication methods, and rate limits. Content type header setting the content type header to application/JSON tells the server that you're sending JSON data in the request body. This is often crucial. Troubleshooting example scenarios. Here are some specific examples of common errors and how to fix them. Scenario 1, missing quotes. Scenario 2, trailing comma. Scenario 3, encoding issue. Scenario 4, data structure mismatch. By following these steps, you should be able to effectively diagnose and resolve request JSON is not well-formed errors when working with APIs in Python. Remember to always refer to the API documentation, validate your JSON data, and handle errors gracefully. Good luck.